Okay, so before last episode, we got that little mushroom thing for 500 gems. It's almost like as soon as I get to a good threshold of them, which is, for me is not 500, it's more like 1,000, because I want to make sure I always have 500 in reserve for the next thing. Like, wait, does that mean I didn't even get 40 last time? Because I think I just like lost every game for what I played last time, because I was at 460 the week before that because I was ready to save up 500 for Bad Moon Rising, but... What is the... Oh, man. I'm just hoping and praying every time for it to fucking be Bad Moon Rising just one time. Like, it's been on here only once, and at that point, I wasn't thinking ahead enough to save up gems for it, but... See, the thing is, it's like a good real-life concept, too. It doesn't cost me anything to save the gems, because I still have the same amount as I would normally have. It just means that I could spend them anytime I want, on anything I want. After combat, deal 6 damage to... That is actually pretty good, but I mean, I obviously wouldn't dare to get it. 5 mana, 5 health. After combat here, the thing is, it doesn't have team up though, so what are you supposed to do with it? Like, I guess you would need something else with team up to make it work. It really should have team up. Transfiguration, food fight bundle. It makes it seem like this is like a new thing, but it's obviously not. Right? Like, I don't know. Yeah, 750, we can get another hero, which would be only my second one fucking ever. I guess I could get one for... I don't know. I created like this criteria that I can only get one if I have a legendary for that class, basically, or for like both of their classes. So as much as the zombies have been cucked by not getting legendaries already, they would get cucked further by in complement to that fact, because now I only have one legendary for the zombies, which is the for the smash. So technically, you wouldn't have enough for the second class of anybody else that you might get. Crazy Dave finished polishing the game. Please update your app for the best. Fuck off, dude. A game that has no support or anything. But yeah, we got that mushroom guy who can only be used with green shadow, which confused the shit out of me because he's even using a shield, and the shield is a walnut. So if you would associate him with somebody, you would think he'd be the Wall Knight. I've almost kind of forgotten about Captain Combustible, like, or at least the excitement has worn off for his... So what is he considered to be? Because it makes no sense. Yeah, I have gotten a number of event cards in the process of doing this. In fact, I'm almost curious now. How many event cards do I have total? I only have one for the plants, which was sort of a deliberate decision because, again, the plants have sort of been spoiled by the legendaries and other things. Let's review some of the stuff we have in our very epic, authentic, organic collection, even for the zombies, to the extent that everything we've gotten has just been from packs and just completely random. I haven't crafted a single thing. The only thing that feels a little bit inorganic is maybe two things. It's the event cards that you're getting because they're kind of a guaranteed thing. And then the second thing is the... But see, I would have to do that because that's the only way I can get them. At least if there was a chance to get them in a pack, even if it's super low, then I wouldn't mind doing it. But so the event cards feel a little bit inorganic, and the Smash packs that I got feel inorganic because they gave you the 2 guaranteed nurses and guaranteed other cards. It doesn't matter to me even what those cards are, but the fact that they're guaranteed is something I don't like because it could say it gives you a guaranteed legendary, but it shouldn't say which one. But obviously, I think it's still fair for me to do that. So this was like the first one we ever got, I think, the little Velociraptor, Velociradish, whatever the fuck it is. This guy's good. Obviously, we got 2 Dark Matter Dragon Fruit, which is unbelievable because not only is it just a great card, period, one of the best cards in the game, a high-cost card which complements the fact that as a new player, you're not going to have too many high-cost cards, but it's also one of my favorite effects in all of card game history. Anybody who knows me, like, anything that sort of cucks their ability to play spells, like Untrickable I like, Hexproof I like from Magic, Elusive I like from Hearthstone. So it fits into every sort of niche that you could possibly want. It's a high cost card. It was for Green Shadow, who I liked. It was for, you know, anti-spell stuff that I like. The fact that you get 2 of them in a free-to-play playthrough, no crafting early on, within like my first 4 legendaries too. Like, that's got to be one of the biggest RNG moments in human history. Even though there aren't really that many legendaries in this game, so it makes it seem a little more likely, it's still super unlikely. I mean, even just to get a legendary, period. Like, I'm saying, oh, there's only so many, but, like, look at the zombies. The zombies have been totally fucked over. You have 4 of them, but technically 5 of them. Now, for this, I think we have multiple event cards, but I kind of forgot what one of them was. We got the Frankenstein one, and then we got the football guy. So that's kind of fun too. And even one of these didn't make sense because I thought he would be for, just because he's big and beefy and a gargantua or whatever, I thought he would be for the smash as well, even if it's a hybrid where it's for both of them. But a lot of these cards are kind of one guy or the other, like it's only for one of them. And then the legendary is obviously just going to be this clown show of the two nurses, which again, you might think, oh, that's super lucky too, but that's inorganic. And this one just mentions the word legendary in there. Our goal for today is just to get back up to 500 gems, which again, we never do these daily quest things. But yeah, that kind of blew my mind. To just like look at this guy for a second. The what was it? The mushroom. What's his name again? I love the way he looks, and I love obviously his effect also playing into like who needs untrickable when you have this effect, even though it's not really that good. And in fact, what was funny is last time we go to play him for the first time, and instead of me getting to show him off, my opponent showed him off, and he buffed him like 50 times and ended up killing me. Over the course of, I kept thinking like, oh, it's not going to be that big of a deal, and then he ended up destroying me. So try to think about this design here. The guy with a walnut on his hand is not a walnut character, or with a walnut on his hand is not usable by walnut. Like, what kind of nonsense is that? So yeah, this I do like. And even though Sporticus is a pun, what does it have to do with being a mushroom or being a plant? I don't get it. And technically plants aren't even mushrooms, so that could make even less sense. Okay, let's do, we'll still always do Captain Combustible first just because he is the newest guy, but it's kind of annoying because I rotate between plants and zombies, so therefore I would have to lose as both this guy and a zombie before I can get to play as Green Shadow to try that. Yeah, that's not too terrible. I have enjoyed the way the Captain Combustible plays, but it's just like, it's a very hard commit sort of thing. Like, I don't care what they do, I'm just full aggro all the way, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, because I'm not going to beat them in the long game anyway. Even with most of these decks, that still doesn't end up favoring me. So the biggest scare tactic you can do against me is just fill up your hand with a bunch of conjuration stuff and all kind of other nonsense, you know, cycling and card draw and things like that. When I first started playing this game, I thought this mouse was actually a custom cursor for the game. But now he gets in -1 because, oh, I'm stupid for doing that, actually. I should have not played that on the ramp. But no, I thought it was for the game, but it's actually just for the mobile emulation, whatever shit that you're using on it. That'll be the newest low. If we had to play mobile games, or we had to do this on a phone basically for the sake of mobile games, one day we'll have to play a game that's Mac exclusive, so we'll have to emulate a Mac, or we'll have to fucking go out and buy one. Or like people go to such lengths to play some games like the Seaman or whatever it is, where you're like raising the guy who like talks shit to you or whatever. It's like a fish with a human face. So basically the point the point is that it would be a case where you would have to go out of your way to get that because it's such a hard thing to find. You have to buy like some old school Sega Genesis add-on that doesn't exist anymore, that was used like only for that game and a couple others. It's like the, what was it called? There was something for the Xbox, like Kinect or something, but there was something even more obscure, I think, that was only used for a few things and then died out. If you wanted to play any of those games ever, you would have to go out of your way to do it. Or like PlayStation Move. I actually got that myself because I wanted to play Heavy Rain, the DLC, but then the DLC disc I got was like region locked, so it wouldn't let me actually play it. The one and only DLC that they did that was like Madison Page, whatever the fuck. Like her origin story. Heavy Rain is one of the biggest like mixed feelings I have about a game ever. It's so good and so enjoyable in a way, but it's also so cheesy and cliche. Like every scene is a cliche from some movie or some, you know, thing that you've seen a million times before, but yet it somehow sort of works. David Cage is like the M. Night Shyamalan of video gaming, like where he's so good at times and he's so bad at times, where he's like a savant kind of thing. Where you can't deny that he has talent, but he either gets too full of himself or I don't know. they get like a status when they're successful early on that like nobody can question what they do, or they do something like a little bit different, so it seems to justify it, but then they obviously lose track of that too. That whole concept is like share the love, so you don't make one of them too big of a target. You wouldn't want to just dump it all on the same one. Even at the beginning I did that, but my main misplay here is I should have not put this here at the beginning, because I should have put that there. But this guy's deck is pretty terrible, and he's rank 1 even though it's not the beginning of the season, so he must be either a bot or just bad. I'll never believe that this game has such an active player base as or why did I even do that? As what it would seem. I'm misplaying a lot actually, but you know, it does have a passionate fan base to it, but it's not like it wouldn't explain the player base still. Or it's almost like the fan base would be in spite of the players, like because it's so dead, that's why people are so passionate about it. And it's not even because it's the zombie that we're talking about, haha, that the game is dead. Yeah, this shouldn't be too bad, but see, now we'll still end up finding a way to lose. We are pretty low on health. In fact, if it wasn't for that, we would have been screwed. The question is, could I survive up to 6 before this happens? And the answer is we could do the double attack. He has nothing else in his hand, so it almost wouldn't matter. So that will be pretty worth it. How fitting. The tree stump beats you with the tree stump. Is that card like the closest you can get to Captain Combustible himself? Like every card will have its like little doppelganger, right? There'll be like a green, you know, green shadows could just be like a pea shooter or something. But this might actually be the one that's intended to overlap with that. And this will be the best way to try to do that damage quest anyway, because this is the one where you get the most face potential damage. But if you're gonna win, you're gonna have to do that much anyway, unless they heal a lot. At least these matchups aren't too unfair to start. You might question why I'd even keep that, but it's better than just like playing nothing, I guess, at the beginning. Yeah, you would never believe, not that I ever do face cam, but you would never believe sometimes how scuffed my setup is. Like where I actually have to look off to the side because my mic is like blocking the thing and I don't have any other way to really do it. I don't really even mind it, but I should probably just do this. Yeah, even if it was aggro versus aggro, we both just go face and ignore what the other person is doing. That somehow works out. Even though that seems dumb, I kind of want to buff it. I don't want to waste the effect of the other one. So this guy's just going to be using an anti-hero only deck, it seems like. And even that was maybe stupid because you would almost want to put this on there, but I kind of just want to put this other thing on there. The, or whatever, just buff it and do an extra attack maybe. Or yeah, I should do that. I should buff it and then do an extra attack with this just to keep it alive. Yeah, isn't it a sad day for the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise that a Yu-Gi-Oh lifer and big fan like me would rather play this game than Yu-Gi-Oh, because that's what, than any version of Yu-Gi-Oh, because that's what was in the slot originally. And I got so bored of dueling / master duel because they forced you to play in the modern shitty stupid synchro infested format where the first move is 15 minutes long and you got to do the same thing if you want to have any chance of surviving. Like, again, just give us a format without that in there as an option, and I would be happy with it. Even this would be fine, so you can do, like... Remember that episode where I got, like, every lethal in a row just with that card? It always happened to be the final 2 damage. I wasn't even doing it to BM or anything. We're doing okay, but his hand is still a little bit too full, so he might be holding something back. Yeah, I mean, we'll pretty much end this series as soon as we get Badman Rising, or at least that'll give me the motivation to do like a final push. Let's try to get to rank 50, and then the problem is I don't play enough to really do that, even if I could. like even pretend I'd be good enough, my collection and stuff, to get to rank 50. I barely play. Like, even if I won every game on every episode every week that I play, I still wouldn't get to rank 50 because it just wouldn't be enough games in there. So one of these times I am gonna have to commit to it and try. So I'd want to do that at least once, but I still think it's too early. Like, our collection is still coming along, and it'd almost be the kind of game where I'd want to collect every card in the game, or at least every card that you theoretically could, but the likelihood of that happening in a free-to-play, no crafting sort of run is pretty low, because you'd be more likely to get multiple copies of the same things than you already get, you know, just every single thing at least once. And so I wouldn't care about some of the other stuff, like, or, you know, I stupidly said, oh, I want to collect every hero in the game, but that would never happen either, because you'd have to buy them manually the way it's gone. At least if I got one from a pack, we'd be in better shape. The longer the queue time is, the more likely it is it's a real player. I just like in games if they give you some sort of feedback that something is a bot. Like, it should just tell you, like, this guy's a bot that you're playing against, or everybody speculates that in Hearthstone, like, oh, if they're using the little gear as a card back, like a machine gear, that means they're a bot. That's like the game telling you. But I don't think that's true at all. Or, like, what would stop a random player then for just using that too? This game doesn't have those kind of customization options like the card backs and things like that. We can wait on that and just do this for now. The repeater is often not really that good because it's a 3-mana 2/2, and you know, you really have to assume what the value is going to be. It's like, that's such a bot play. Like, why would he even do that? What good did that do you at all? And this game needs a backlog, just like every other card game should always have one, where it shows you like the backlog of moves. Very few games actually do that. Or they'll do it like halfway, where they'll only show you the most recent moves, like Hearthstone, but it won't let you go back through the whole game. Or I always say that every card game should show you what your opponent's hand was after the game is over, whether you win or lose, just to show you, like, oh, what they could have missed out on or whatever. It's just kind of fun to see. Like, how does it hurt anything? That maybe seems like a waste, but it's okay. Yeah, who would have thought I would have picked Captain Combustible of all things, because I did just kind of buy the hero outright. But it's almost like my other option, given my criteria, was like Rose, which is not going to be my style of play at all, or I'm not going to have the cards necessarily to support it either. So aggro sort of just fit with the playstyle more than anything, and I wouldn't say I like aggro or control, but you would think I would like control a little more still, because I do like these sort of mid-range board-focused ones that can sometimes be like that. I mean, I guess everything would be board-focused the way I do it. I'm not going to use like a... And you don't see that a ton either, where like it's a trick OTK. I'm sure there's some of them like that, but there aren't enough like tricks that do like a ton of damage. There's not like a pyroblast type of thing that's going to do like 10 to the face in one shot. So it would require at least a certain amount of setup first. Yeah, like a million of those stupid banana things, the way that people sometimes do. I mean, either one of those should really work, or I could have just done it to the face, actually, too. We're on a pretty good streak, which means we must just be farming bots. What else is new? Because even when I play like Hearthstone or Magic, I'm playing at such a low rank in such a specific format that maybe the same is true there, because you know, you wouldn't really know for sure that it's not a bot there either. Or like, how could somebody be playing in your region at your rank in your format at that exact time of day? So it makes it seem pretty unlikely. I wouldn't mind doing that mushroom thing, but it's just so expensive that I end up not really typically getting value out of it. Or how come we are farming such low rated players for once? They're normally not this low. In fact, sometimes we get jacked out matchups like... Or you know what would almost help is if you could emote in this game. Then it would be kind of cool, because it kind of helps you to guess that it could be a real person, because they'll actually try to troll you or something with the timing of it, like they're about to win or something crazy happens, so they react to it. Not that a bot couldn't potentially do that, but yeah, these things are the ultimate combo with any of these environments, because it'll double the effect of that, or it'll double the effect of the double attack thing, so it becomes a quadruple attack. So this is the whole tried and true way of doing this. Just ignore completely the whole fucking board of what they're doing and just try to outface them, which may or may not work. He didn't even need to do that though, because they're making all these nonsense plays. Like, it wouldn't have even been a bad trade, so why even bother doing that? It's not like the act of him attacking is giving him some sort of bonus either. Yeah, that's the one thing I miss doing as of late, though, is like any sort of story game, because of how sporadic my whole thing is. It almost feels like, you know, it would be hard to do that, because the way I would sometimes do them is like I do them back-to-back days or every other day, so at least you get some sort of immersion with it where you can get really invested and, you know, pay attention to details if it's like a mystery detective kind of game. But it just requires a certain level of focus I guess I just don't have. Both time and effort and focus, which is maybe true for hard mode type stuff too, but at least to some extent I don't always feel that way. It can just be more like an encapsulated amount of effort that you put forth in a certain period of time. Yeah, between board games like chess and card games, this is gonna be my whole fucking streaming life because of how casual I am. It sort of fits and works to the extent that it sort of helps to the extent that you can, I don't know, like I do like the whole variety element. That's not something I used to do necessarily either. I would kind of do one thing and stick to it, or I guess I always said I wouldn't do that though too. I would sometimes stick to one thing, or I would sometimes at least stick to like one format of doing things. Like I'll do a permadeath run of a game and then move on to the next one. So you're still always doing the type of thing, you know, the same type of thing, but it's a different game because I don't really know exactly how to do this. This would just be lethal, but they're gonna do something with their 5 mana. There is a certain good amount of personality that they give these avatars with the fucking nervous twitching and all the stuff that they do. How coronavirus started, am I right? Doing some dumb shit experiment with their bats in a lab in China somewhere. Oh shit, I didn't mean to be doing that. I thought it was their turn. So we're farming low rated players. This is one of the best streaks actually that we've been on with combustible probably. So it's almost seeming a little bit too easy. Maybe we're playing at like a different time, like it's a little bit earlier for me, so yeah, we're not really even trying to do any particular goal, but this would be kind of cool if we just do a Captain Combustible Clown Show episode where we just only play as him, and it's a good thing. Not because the episode is so even shorter than normal, but it would be because we're obviously just doing so well. Yeah, what is the deal? Why is everybody like rank 1? This is not the beginning of the season, right? I think last week was, or, you know, they always do it at a weird... It would make sense for this to be the beginning of the season if it was like a proper normal format, like at the beginning of the month, but a lot of these games don't do that, and it does kind of trigger me, actually. Even though it's 4 attack, I just ignore it. That's fine with me. Or I could use a removal on it, but I think for now it doesn't even matter. Okay, hurry up, dude. That's one thing to not complain about, even if there are bots. is that they typically move pretty fast. So you get this one is fine. Oh shit. I think I'll still ignore it, although this is a pretty terrible idea. We're getting a little bit cocky with the win streak that we're on. Like, why would you just want to tank 8 damage to the face that quickly in a deck with no healing just to be able to do a little bit of damage? I have to basically summon something there. I'm trying to farm out a block meter card, I guess. I'm just doing that for the fuck of it. Like, I'm clearly gonna out damage you. I'm making almost bot level shit plays myself, and I'm just assuming he doesn't have anything else to worry about but to summon, but obviously he will. At least here, if I burn out my hand, at least it's with a good purpose, literally burning it out with Captain Combustible. But that's the point, is like you're trying to just win as quickly as you can. Okay, that was a clown play to make. That's still kind of clutch. We'll kind of commit to this guy a little bit too hard. We can deal with what he's doing now, but that was not a very good way to start. If he's putting that much pressure on with anti-hero, you should not ignore it like that. We're buffing this dude sky high, and he clearly could just have an easy removal for it, but maybe he won't. And I always forget who has good and not good removal. Like, for the zombies, I feel like Infinity has pretty shit removal, where you have to rely on the cake or something like that. Oh, shit. Okay. But see, that's just a hero card, though. It's not even a... Oh, wow. Alright, that one was kind of my fault, at least the way it started. We could get like a lucky block meter thing because there is internal RNG with that. Wait, what happened? Oh wait, I thought I did that. Okay, that one almost doesn't even count because of that, but we'll still get the block meter, but it won't be something that saves me then. Fine, whatever. Maybe we would have lost anyway, but I just started that one. Okay. I just started that one off so badly. But his deck wasn't like crazy good or anything. Fine, Captain Combustible did pretty good. Let's go to the Smash. Is typically who I like to play first there, but there is no... There is no, like, on a plant mission. Oh yeah, I forgot people actually do stuff like that in this game. Okay, let's try the Smash. We have the nurses to show off. Hey, not much. How about you? The nurses, and I even like those other cards better. The amphibious, whatever they're called. The old god minions, I kind of call them as. They look kind of like those things from... What are they called? Not even the Faceless. They're more like General Vezics or whatever from Ulduar. They have like this fish-like scaly quality, which almost would make you associate them with N'Zoth more, but... The old god minions kind of all overlap on each other, like, oh, they all are bugs, or they're sea creatures, like bugs like Cthulhu or something. That's why I love that they consider Cthulhu a druid, just because of that. Yeah, he summons a couple bugs, so therefore that makes him a druid. Okay, this is good if he doesn't do anything about it. Okay, now at least we're getting those sort of unfair matchups. Rank 15, I'm only like rank 4 or something. It doesn't even show you your rank during the course of a game. That's another bot-like play. Like, why would you even bother doing that? Yeah, I'm not crafting anything the whole run. And it's also my first time, you know, my first playthrough of the game effectively, but... You know, you would normally think, okay, I'll do this plus that, but I can't even do it because of the gravestone. I guess I'll just do that for now. And quite frankly, I don't think it's put me at that much of a disadvantage anyway, because you always get such a low refund on what you put in that you know, it would end up not really being worth it. I would have made like one good meta deck, but then I would have missed out on all these other interesting cards, even if they're not very good at times. Don't play Galvanize. What even is that? What I just played to buff him? I don't know the names of all these offhand. Okay, now this at least we can do on there. I sometimes always forget that you have to do that with a gravestone, or like that you can't do it if you have a gravestone. It's the flag thing. Okay. We're getting carried. We're getting advice carried through this. Like we're playing chess where all these 2,000 rated players are trying to tell me all these moves. But the good thing with that is I have some internal protection against it. It's not cheating because I don't know notation. So they'll say, oh, go D6 or something. And I don't know what the fuck D6 even is just by looking at the board. So technically, it's actually a good precaution. Okay, he's playing a little bit slow, and my board is actually pretty nasty here. And even if he gets rid of this, we are going to have the nurse coming up. Yeah, I mean, the smash is as top heavy as we get. Don't overcommit because his move wasn't going to kill it anyway. Yeah, I just kind of like to overcommit, though, to the extent of, you know, if I don't win relatively soon, I'm going to lose anyway. I don't really have, like, a great long-term strategy, even though this deck is going to be the best in the way of that I'm typically going to get. Like, you know, this is actually going pretty well. But no, I mean, aside from the nurses and stuff, if he really has like a really good long-term deck, I'm not going to win anyway. Gives an opportunity to kill it next turn instantly. Okay, let's see. This should be pretty much lethal here. He made at least 6, get strike through. He gets saved by the block meter, fine. At least I like the animation of his block meter a little bit. The wall knights. Okay, we're still in a great spot. I think it's very unlikely he could come back from this. This game is actually pretty good about that too. Like, there can be epic comebacks, but they're not usually like so common as some games. It becomes a bit of a farce with some games where, you know, leads don't really feel too satisfying because you could be in a great position, but there's always some way out of it. Well, even as I say that, he could be setting up for a very good comeback here, getting all the answers that he needs, but he still has to do something about these two sport zombies. What do they call the mascots? This is pretty satisfying to see them get buffed up this high. Imagine if he actually came back from this. Yeah, he just doesn't seem to have the adequate removal for these, and he's letting them stick around for way too long. The buff wasn't needed. Yeah. But I guess I don't know what I would have really done with that. That's the thing. Like I often like to play that way, but then if I save it, I don't know what I'm saving it for because I don't really have any other strategy going on. Holy shit, he's dragging out though. Use it on the flag. Yeah, I guess that's true. Or I didn't expect it to stick around the whole game either. That is like suicide. Okay, here we go. So we'll get our little 500 gems here. But damn, that quest takes so long to complete it. Even if you are winning every game, you're only getting Magnus Carlsen and PvZ Heroes. Exactly. But then the game would have ended in a draw. Okay, equal matchup here. I always like how the icon is like matching the month, even though it, I don't know, it doesn't make sense how they do it sometimes, because like it's the 4-leaf clover, but that's referring to last month. Like it gives you the badge for how well you did last month. Move a plan, draw a card. I don't typically like that early game, although that's not so good either. You know, I'm gonna keep this, and you might question why. And the reason why, yeah, we can play one, sure, is because sometimes I'm waiting for that in the middle game and I just don't have it, so I may as well keep it now. It would only backfire if I get another one. So let's hope this can stick around just as long. And it is kind of the same matchup, so let's see what happens. Wall Knight's actually kind of weird because you would think of him as a control character, but I've never seen that actually happen. It still feels kind of mid-rangey where he doesn't really have like a end game sort of win condition thing. Which again, there are very few of those in this game, but I don't know, it just always feels very weird the way he plays. My dream come true with him is I just play that disco ball and then I, you know, have like a ton of wall knights on the board or a ton of walnuts on the board, and then I, you know, just win like that. But if that doesn't work and they get through it, then I'm kind of screwed. Or there's like some AoE that destroys like everything with X amount of like X damage or below, something like that maybe fucks them over. I can't remember. This shows you how casual I actually am though. With a game that has as few cards as this, right? I still can't even, I don't know, I guess it's because I play it all. See, like that I would just do, and I still will do it because I have the one brain there and I might not get a chance to use it otherwise, so I may as well just do it. But that's obviously the wrong way to think about it. Now this guy is actually going to come in pretty clutch, the nurse, so that's why I'm glad I kept it. See, some of these plays are motivated by the fact of I know my deck is bad, so therefore I have to just go all in with everything. But like I have very few high cost cards, even though I do have those 4 at least. Oh shit. That's maybe actually the least impactful place he could have played it though, because it's not going to actually do anything yet. Not that he really has to do anything, but so I might actually have to not play the nurse and just wait and use my removal on it instead. 4 or less. I guess we, again, may as well just do that too. Yeah, every plant hero has like a doppelganger thing. So like this will be Chomzilla's thing. So what was the one we just saw for the other guy? There was like one, I can't remember. Fuck, we can't even do it. Oh no, but this is actually good because that's what I want to do anyway. I was just clicking on new cards to see what they do. I feel like none of these are actually new though. Like I've seen them before, I just can't always remember. Yeah, every once in a while I will see a card like that I've never seen before. No, but even those, I've seen most of them, I think. Wait, now this is going to be... I guess we don't really have much of a choice though. I mean, I'm about to die. Oh, come on. Nothing I can do. Avocado you got rid of has an OP ability. That was at least a pretty clean victory by him. I don't think there was much I could have done. When dies, it makes something that turns into it again. Yeah, I actually have that too. On whoever can use it. Must just be the wall knight only. Okay, let's play him. So what would it be next? We can do green shadow, I guess, or... Of course, sometimes this unfortunately bugs out. I try to incorporate this even into the round robin thing that I do. If I play against a viewer, I'll still count this like as part of the thing. It's an even matchup. I guess we're both ranked 5, but who knows what his thing is, like what he normally gets to, or at least his badge would show you that he at least got to gold last month. Or if it's zombie, then I'll go with a different one. Let's do Infinity. I always kind of disregard Super Brains and think he's like the worst, but Infinity hasn't done so well lately either. Like my strongest collection between each... Oh shit. Between each side would be like... The Smash is definitely my best one for zombies. With plants it's a little bit close, but I would still say Green Shadow has a lot of good things. Double Dark Matter Dragon Fruit. He has another legendary he can use. Okay, so he seems to have wanted to play as plant, so I'll do zombie. Doesn't really matter for this purpose, but I'll still count it, like I said. Yeah, once we get so many heroes, we're not even going to have time in these episodes to go through every single one. Right, even if I lose all of them. Oh, you didn't receive it? Yeah, this does sometimes bug out. Unfortunately. They have one job in a multiplayer game, and they can't get it to work. The matchmaking is always so quick, too, so it makes you wonder why this is always such an issue. I guess you could, like, restart it, but... Okay, let me try again. It's so inconsistent. Sometimes it'll work fine. Yeah, because clearly this game is so overloaded with players and is so unbelievably popular that they can't handle it. It's more like they'd probably just cut back the amount of resources that they have, that they put in to keep the server stable. Okay, I'll wait. You know, just because they think they can afford to do that, because it is so dead, so that's the advantage. They don't have to put as much money into maintaining the servers. But it's at least nice that it's still playable. Of course, I'd be worried that it would be going down any second now. Come on, come on. I love how it says this too. Searching for an opponent. We already found the opponent. It's just... Fuck. Doesn't make sense. So who is I gonna play next as here anyway? We lost his that, so I would do Green Shadow next, I guess. I guess I can try to like clear my cache or something. I don't see why that would be necessary, but I forget how you even do that actually. Okay, so that doesn't work. I'll try it like once more. Or whoops, I didn't even mean to do that one, but he seems to want to play as plants himself. I think it's on my end. Okay, I'll try to clear that if I can remember how. Or yeah, those were like two formats that I was thinking about doing just for the sake of the namesake, like alliteration. That's why it's whatever Wednesday, where I just do random stuff. Like MMO Mondays or Mobile Mondays, where I could play like a mobile game. Okay, he's gonna try to change his setup too. As if we should have to do this. Everybody's like rank 1. See, all these people don't even play the game. Doomer as opposed to a boomer. Astros. There's one guy who's always like rank 50. I feel like it's Fox. But maybe this month he's not taking it that seriously. Or he was only gold last month, I guess is what that tells you. The, like whatever his checkpoint thing is. I guess it is still early in the season though, so you can't really judge it too much. You're not away. Oh, he was away. Now he's not even there. Oh no, he is still here. These are probably like the only 17 people who actually play the game. Even though I can't really decipher whether... I don't know. Here, let me just play a game and see maybe that'll reset something. Okay, rank 5, rank 7. And we never really get to see the Dark Matter Dragon Fruit. That's what kind of triggers me. We have 2 of them, but we either never get it or we just don't get to play it. I mean, it's fine, like even if I win, but I still want to show it off. And then they'll think I'm a try-hard, pay-to-win type of clown, but obviously this is about as pure of a thing as you can possibly have. No, I'm away. That's weird. How could I be away if I'm in the middle of a game? Or I guess that maybe would consider it to be like unavailable. We'll try after this one. Okay, let's see if we can withstand his aggro. See, at least here it gives me an incentive to play in a different way, like to actually trade on the board and not to go face the whole time. It might seem a little bit questionable, but this guy can become more dangerous in time. If I can just withstand his initial attack here, I'll be fine. That's actually pretty worth it. Lane 3. Or yeah, I guess I would have traded because it would have survived pretty well. But of course, I would have known I would get that hero card, so I ended up working out. This is good. We should be fine now because he's sort of burning through his stuff a lot. He's away as he says he's away. That's how you know he's away. Yeah, then do 4. That's kind of a fun mechanic. Teaching kids about suicide bombing in a form, but I guess, is it really suicide if they're already dead? Okay, we at least have the Dark Matter Dragon Fruit. I don't know if I'll get to play it, but we just have to withstand whatever he's got here. Yeah, this is not a bad play because you get to double hit it, assuming he doesn't do anything. Yeah, we're in a pretty good spot now, and see, we'll surprise him with the Dark Matter Dragon Fruit. He'll be totally burnt out, and then that'll completely blow his mind. Just so you know, I wouldn't recommend bouncing cards when played with abilities. I should almost do it to this one. Yeah, if it has like a battle cry type of thing, yeah. But usually, I think in this situation, it's fun. See, I have this philosophy almost that I've adopted over time, where it's just like I play everything as soon as I can, just whenever I have it. Just because that seems to be the pace that I have to play at to win. But yeah, in a proper deck, in a proper matchup, you probably shouldn't do that. And even this kind of deck is a little bit slower, so it almost suits it to do it that way. Now, the only problem with this is you can obviously destroy it with the rock and stuff. Why'd you name yourself the Quiet Gamer? I guess because I was always quiet in two senses. My voice was always quiet, which is not the case now. I kind of have changed over time. But also, I wouldn't talk much on my old channel. I would kind of just, whatever, like let the gameplay speak for itself, and I would just talk here and there. So my style has changed a lot, though, for sure. Okay, so we'll definitely do this. Now, almost do like an ASMR thing. Not on purpose, but like, that's almost how it would come across. I was like very whispery with my natural voice and stuff like that. Yeah, now we finally get to see the dragon. No, I'll play it in the water just so he can't get rid of it. Which is something that triggers people sometimes. But no, in a longer paced game, you might want to do that because then it's so hard for them to get rid of and it'll make their trick so unplayable. Whereas here they can obviously just trade into it on the board. Even if, you know, that's still worth it for you. Yeah, that keeps it out of arm's reach. They're not going to have 6 damage to put on it. Yeah, well, you could just summon something there now, though. You can protect it with team up. You can't really get the leafy synergy, but that's okay too. This would be such a funny game to introduce to somebody like, you know, who's never played a card game before, who's like a card game expert. Like, of all the games in existence, that's why I see I'm pretty open-minded. A lot of people would dismiss this game, but it's actually pretty good. But it's like hilarious. Like, show this to somebody who's like a Magic the Gathering professional, and it's like, look, dude, what the fuck is this? Something would have to be lucky. Lane 3 because it's not, yeah. Yeah, usually it's better to play it somewhere in the center. I sometimes just do it in the water because I love the whole untrickable element of it, where it just, if you get it to stick around, I don't really care about it doing damage. I care about it just stopping them from playing tricks for a long period of time. but that usually isn't really what you should do. We got to actually finally see it. Oh, here we go too. Yeah, that's not bad. See, I'll even keep that though because it's still worth it. Because sometimes, again, when you have so many so few high cost cards like I do, you're gonna have to do that anyway. Like, sometimes the best way to get it is just to keep it. Otherwise, you'll be dying for it later. Yeah, that's fine. I don't really have that many amphibious cards in my collection now that I think about it. It almost would be a style of play that I would have always really liked. Like, I put something in there and I just buff it like crazy, but it just never really materialized. +1/+1 if you made always 6 sun this turn. Oh shit. I mean, there's not much I can really do about that. It's gonna need a hard removal card, which again, I think Infinity is one of those that doesn't really have too many. That stupid cake thing that I don't even think I have. Or I have like a 4 damage cake, but there's a better one. Look at that cake prank, PvZ edition. So many memes with this game that, like, I guarantee nobody's ever made that disgusting act reference. I might just have to deal with it. Like, I don't know how to kill it. His hand is sort of burnt out a little bit. That would be good, but I also still don't have an answer. Like, fuck. I really can't do anything. And if he just buffs it again, I'll just die. Yep. I mean, realistically, I still should have played it there just to block it off, but it just feels like such a waste. Or what I should have done is like put something there and then play it like in a gravestone. I just completely didn't even want to play the gravestone card at all. Here, let me try Green Shadow. Yeah. At least it finally worked. Best 2 out of 3 match set. Just like in Magic, which is such a good format to have. Which is one of the problems with this game too, is just like it doesn't really have a format thing to it at all. This is almost worth it to keep, but sometimes when you dig for something better, you end up getting something higher cost and screwing yourself over more. You should almost just be satisfied with the 2 or 3 cost. One of my old Hearthstone strategies actually that served me pretty well, but that people always questioned and made fun of. Like, why are you keeping a 3 and a 4 cost card in your opening hand when you should be trying to mulligan for a 1 or a 2, but then you might get unlucky and get something even higher. He's got some very good early game value cards. Who needs a gravestone when you can just hide in your fucking closet over here? +1/+1 of zombies next door. You know, realistically... Oh no, you know what you should actually do is this. And just freeze that fucker. Start of tricks, though. It's still gonna trade in. Freeze all plants on the ground, and it should kill the one in the water with hypothermia too, but it still gets a buff from that at least. Okay. It just seems like this game is gonna favor him though if it drags out too long. Might actually have had a better chance if I was Captain Combustible. Okay, this will give you the Leafy Synergy at least. Which that one's okay, like if it gets buffed. If something gets buffed, it gets buffed. Okay, that's pretty good for him, I guess. Deal 5, I mean, I guess it's worth it. Our board position is decent. Now you might question doing this, but sometimes it is worth it. But I should save it for something higher cost. These mana values are kind of annoying, though. Like, it's not going to quite work for what I'm trying to do. Bounce this Yeti, that's fine. Yeah, speaking of the whole doppelganger effect. Okay, that should still kill it there, though. See, the problem is he's just generating too many cards and has too much value, so his hand... Oh, my God. His hand is just going to be too big. Wait, but that actually fucked it up. This is good. If we get to the point where we can play a Dark Matter Dragon Fruit, then I'll be very happy, but let's try to put as much pressure as we can in the meantime. He's pretty low, but his hand is just way too good right now. Zombie Gravestone gets +1. This is the whole share the love concept, that you can't focus on the repeater because he's got to worry about that. He can't focus on that because he's got to worry about the guy getting buffed. So you're kind of... Okay. But we're still in a great spot. Okay, that trades in. It's all about this next move. If he has something really good to play here. That's actually fine. Oh, come on. We better win now. It's so close. Yeah, that's fine too. The block meter isn't going to save him. When revealed, bounce a plan, but he gets to choose, doesn't he? Or the 5/5, or maybe not. Damn, dude, he has so many tricks. Oh, he's dragging it out so much, but only to his own demise where we get to play the Dark Matter Dragon Fruit. Destroy a plant with 2 or less. Problem is, I'm pretty low on health myself. I almost want to put it here, come to think of it, just, well... Because whatever he's going to do, like, he can't play anything now. Right? So he's just going to have to deal with that. Like, sure, oh, I should put it in the middle to kill this, but it shouldn't come down to that. Good game. Unless he's saying that because he's won. I don't know. It always feels like a waste playing it on a corner, but maybe that was the right time to do it. Yeah, let's do one more then to see who wins the whole match set. So I'll play as zombies this time. Let's do, this next deck is OP. I'll do Super Brains here. Unless he was intending to do a plant deck, or I mean a zombie deck. Okay, I guess we could do Green Shadow again. My dream come true. That's like being a glutton for punishment. I mean, Green Shadow is always like my best guy. Despite some of the ups and downs that he's had still. Alright, this is not a bad hand at all. Although we have 2 of them that have to do with the heights, which is a little bit of a conflict there. Yeah, that's fine. Or see, I almost should have done that too, because I have to play a little bit smarter against him, because he's not going to have some of the shitty decks that I often see on the ladder. We have 2 sections of the block meter, not really a big deal. Guess -2. This would probably be pretty worth it to do as well. Let's wait a second. We do the Leafy Synergy first, and this kind of card could win me the game because it's going to be better than what I typically have. Story Zombie, that's 4 more. That's definitely going to come into play. Okay, so he's got a little pirate aggro type thing going. Save that one for later. Okay, those guys can be annoying, but usually they're only annoying when they come together. Almost like bouncing one here wouldn't be a bad idea, but... Yeah, so that's all fine. So ultimately you will trade in unless he buffs it more, because then next turn... Okay, fine. A 2/2/1 amphibious clone, fine. Definitely very heavy aggro, where this would actually hurt me more if I was playing as... I don't know. I feel like this deck maybe holds up a little better than some of my other ones would, though. But I'm still pretty low, and I'm not going to have any healing. Now you could say, oh, this is a waste because I should have played it on the height, but it's like, I don't have time to do that. I'm going to be dead. So now I get saved by the block meter, but let's see what it does. That's a random zombie. It's almost not even worth it to do that yet, though. He gains his 1 attack back as he dies. Yeah, I'm just not going to be able to survive long enough. He has too much mana left over, too. It seems like a waste, but like I'm almost dead, so I almost don't have a choice but to do this. Remove 2 sections of the block meter. He has 6 mana left, so he could easily do something here. Yeah. Well, I could counter his trick with my own trick. I can still freeze it, but good game. So he wins the best of 3 set, even with me having the handicap of using Green Shadow. Let me try to use who else is left here? Let's do Wall Knight, actually. Try to see if we can get this daily quest thing done, at least. Rank 24, how fair. Not that I can't beat a rank 24, I've beaten rank 40s before, which is why it's kind of deceptive to see, like, oh, how high up the ladder could I really go? 100 or yeah, like weekly, but for me it's like set multi-weekly because it takes me forever to actually do them. Because like I had a last episode too, last Friday. The one thing with the water chestnut is you should never use it in the water because it kind of goes to waste. Because they're not really going to summon anything too often there. The problem with this kind of deck though is it's too slow for what we're really trying to do. Like, this guy's deck's obviously going to be better and punish me for that. It is a real shame that this game didn't... You said you want Badminton... Yeah, definitely. And let me guess, it's going to be next week. We could put this... Damn Rocket is... Well, whether it's better or not is less my concern. It's more like... You know, sometimes you just want it. That 2/4 is actually pretty good, but maybe I shouldn't worry about it here. Conjure Nut, I mean... Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, even if it's RNG, it's like, it's good RNG, because whatever you're gonna have out there... Pineapple behind Chestnut. Yeah, it feels maybe too early to use that because I kind of want to get more nuts out there, but I don't have any. This is actually a pretty good card. That, of course, is not actually in my collection. This thing is too early. I don't know. This is kind of weird. I think it's +2. Just conjure more stuff. This is plants here get +5/+5. Spikeweed sector is OP. I couldn't even read the whole thing. Or I guess you can go here, can't you? In the middle of match. Spikeweed sector is OP. We use it as a trick instead of an environment. Okay, this Wall Knight's just gonna sit there tanking it, or meant to be used reactively. Oh, we're getting a lot of good shit from the conjurations though. When a zombie's played, move it here. This is the sad part. The best cards that we'll play in any of these decks are ones we get from this. Gravity. Like, how do they come up with so many of these ideas, dude? This is what I would want to see, and like literally I'll make a fan mod of PvZ where I put all the cards in this game into the game and you can use them, right? Like with these same effects and appearances and everything. Because a lot of these are not in the game unless they somehow made it into PvZ too. Best combo is Gravity, Spikeweed Sector in the same line. Yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, he dispatched it a little bit too quickly there. Yeah, at least we have a good hand here. But he's gonna... It's +5/+5. You kind of want more stuff out there. Astrocato's not really the time for it, I don't think. He's not really doing anything to put that much pressure, so he's kind of lulling me into a sense of security. Fusion Zombie here does a bonus attack. I probably should have just put it there to kill it, but I'm just always assuming he's gonna have removal or something, so what's the point? But I'm playing too much still, like I'm trying to go face all the time. I'd like to do one more. Yeah, sure, we can do that. 2-3 Space Cadet. Like, is this guy really a rank 24 though? Just spamming Space Cadets the whole game? Exodia Space Cadet, if you get one in every lane, you just auto win or something? What kind of garbage am I going against, dude? He's just bad. He's rank 24, dude. Is rank 30 at some point? Yeah, I think the highest I've been is actually rank 20 myself. And I did it like 2 months in a row, and then I just haven't had time since then. Not that it's that big of a deal, but at least compared to most of the people we go against. Yeah, his deck was absolutely garbage, man. Mega Walnut here, I guess. Taco League players are brutal. I've beaten one before too, though. Or I think I've beaten multiple. And not even in a like a friend match. I've actually beaten on the ladder, which you might question, if the highest rank I've been is 20, how come I'm playing a rank 42? But yet I did multiple times, just because you're lucky the heal decks are disgusting. Okay, opponent conceded. But yeah, I have seen some of those decks because the matchmaking is so wonky that it will sometimes, or they do that just to cuck your ability to do the daily quest, because oh my god, I still have to do 12 more, which I think it counts even when you play a friend. So we could do Wall Knight, I guess, again if he... What did he want to play as? But yeah, we beat like a rank 41 Taco Rose. So then I named my next episode like Taco Slayer as a joke, like the Taco Slayer takes on New Horizons here. Makes their first push for rank 30 or whatever. Oh, he wants to do a zombie deck. Yeah, I can do Wall Knight again. Not that it's very good here, but I personally like the style of play a lot, though, of it. That Disco Ball is like my favorite card, arguably, in the whole game, because it's just such a cool effect. The definition of turning defense into offense. Okay, we got the Spikeweed thing. I don't think I really need to keep that. Yeah, I love the values that you get from this too early on. Like, by like turn 4, you have a 2-8 and like 3 2-8s on the board, just because you're obviously doing the base effect, and then those guys are just so annoying to deal with, though. I can't really do anything about them. You know, you just summon a couple of these and do the spine apple. Unfortunately, this turn is kind of just dumb. This would be good at least, though. Fuck, he did that so fast. Like, he already knew what it was gonna be. The animation in this game are actually super fast, too. Like, you would never have the problem here. Like you would have in Hearthstone with the Grim Patron and stuff. It always feels like such an insult to a game to say, oh wow, PvZ Heroes does this better. Like, just the standard is not exactly super high, but you'll do this for now. I'm just kind of ignoring that at my own peril, but this is always a pretty good value card. And he's really using the environments. I mean, he just reacted to it so fast before I got to do anything. So we'll put the spine apple down for sure with this guy, or I can't. I mean, I should still do it though. It's almost like I should do this because of how annoying this is being. With just not letting me actually kill this guy. Deal 3 damage, zombie in every lane. Okay, that's not gonna happen. Still fine, it still trades in, and I like how the position stays there, even though it's like he's unwilling to get over the loss of his... This is not a walnut, it's a bereaved walnut. He can't get over the loss of his buddy here teamed up, so he's still delusional and thinks they're still there. Like somebody who wears their wedding ring after their spouse dies. Amphibious team up. We should do it like this and then do it like this. The good old Patrick Jane. That's one of the funniest titles for a video. It's Patrick Jane sitting there drinking like a margarita or something on his wife's anniversary or something like that. And it's like the most intense scene in any show ever. And it's like the guy sitting there drinking a fucking glass of liquor and that's it. Like... It's emotionally intense for him, sure, but like, come on. Move a plant. I kind of don't want to move it though. That's the thing. Conjure a nut, and it becomes 3/3. I don't know. I guess I could have saved something with that, but let's see what he can do. Oh, here we go, dude. You know, it's RNG, but it's going to be good no matter what you got. Even the worst case scenario is good. Like, this might not be the greatest. +2/+2. Yeah, see, that's not the greatest value in and of itself, but it's just too good of a card not to have. And it's actually fun and exciting and random and all these kind of things. I just underestimated how badly I would want it, or how there's like nothing else like it in the game. Non-mime zombie does a bonus attack. This does a bonus attack. Kind of risky to do this. I almost should have just destroyed what they would have there. Oh, here we go. Kind of a good synergy with the walnuts though, because it allows you to, you know, hide behind the team up. Deal 2 damage to each plant, one of the rare AoE sightings here. But did that even matter? Because it didn't kill anything. Okay, that trades in, so we survived the Bad Moon Rising too, of all things. And you get like the Zombot that just kills everything on the board, like all these kind of crazy effects from Bad Moon Rising, and then something also that puts everything in a gravestone. So then he does it again at the end of the next turn. So we were doing good, but I think he's just gonna outvalue me here now. Pot of Greed. But we have a pretty lofty hand myself. Okay, we should just use something to get rid of one of these. But let me actually first try this. Gets +2. This is a 4, 3, 4. When playing an environment bounce zombie. Okay, do this. I still don't feel super confident about this, and maybe I shouldn't have wasted that, but just try to stick with what I have here, even though I'm not in a very good spot. Like, I shouldn't be taking this much damage to the face. Okay, we'll get the Astrocado value, I think, for the most part here. I'm just kind of worried about my health. But there wasn't really much I could do there either. And once the game gets to this stage, it really doesn't benefit me at all because I'm just not going to have healing and stuff. We want to play an environment, bounce a zombie. That's actually pretty good. Although, again, there's going to be better things that he can play, maybe because of that. This is important almost because of the heal. I'm playing kind of with the wrong incentive in saying that, but... Oh, here... Yeah, Bad Moon Rising, by the way. Not at all... It's so stupid, man. Like, I have a fighting chance, and then it just goes out the window because of that. I could still do it, too, theoretically, but... It's just tough. No reason not to do it there, I guess. He gets the frenzy. We got him pretty low. Even as good as his deck is, it was really the Bad Moon Rising plays that made the difference, because ordinarily that wouldn't have been that big of a deal. So this guy's effect is pretty crazy. And this is when a plant gets hurt, destroy it. Between the two strike throughs, I might actually have I might have actually theoretically had something there. That was actually so close though, at least. Yeah, those two strike throughs would have actually killed him. Or would that be like a double kill? Because if he... No, but if he had killed that one and gotten the frenzy, I wonder which interaction would trigger first. I would have killed him with strike through, but then he would have eventually killed me with frenzy. I've never seen a double KO like... Good game. I've never seen a double KO scenario like that happen, actually, where like we both have strike through and we both kill each other at the same time on the same turn. So then who actually wins? Would it actually be a draw? I don't know if this game even has that capability. Or like whoever attacks first, I guess, but technically I had a fruitcake ready. Okay, at least we did the daily quest. I guess that's satisfactory for an episode. So we started out of the gate pretty well with weird censoring. We started pretty good out of the gate with Captain Combustible.